With greetings, the students of third year, I commence the discussion on Merchant of Venice and the best way of studying any literary text. Yes, there must be consistency. Now, what is consistency? All the points, they are connected with each other, and your study must be in very organized way. One point is related to other, and different points, various aspects, all of them, they are combining together as a whole. In this context, yesterday we were discussing dramatic irony, or say irony in general, the concept, the notion of irony. And it can be very well comprehended. Yesterday, I touched the point, and when I talk about consistency, so I must continue the point and I would like to elaborate for your better understanding. Now, this phrase can be very well comprehended with reversal of things and contradiction of expectations. Now, see, we have different kinds of irony, say irony of situation, verbal irony, and we have irony of fate as well. So, the word irony, it is derived from Greek, Latin word ironia. And now, what is the meaning of that? Yes, it is pretense. Now, pretense, it is not on the part of character. Mind you, students, try to understand this concept. Pretense means pretense of words, yes. And here are very nice examples of, say, irony, verbal irony. And when we talk about even irony of situation, so say in Act Second, it begins with this character, minor character, Morocco, and Prince of Morocco. And he is going to make choice, and it see the act begins with casket story, and we have very nice romantic setting. Or yes, another point is that you always remember that you are studying a romantic comedy, so atmosphere is also romantic in that way, that different suitors from all the corners, they come to win the hand of Portia. And here in the previous act, Bassanio, he is also very keen to win her hand. Now in that way, in this, again, in this reference, this act begins with now the verbal irony. See, Prince of Morocco, he's very confident about making the choice of casket, and he praises himself that he is a great warrior, very valiant persona, and say in this choice also he would really get success. And see this verbal irony in this, when he thrice in this say in this utterance, he says my love. You see his address, and see, and his confidence level, say he addresses my gentle queen and by my love. So in this, see, in the beginning, very beginning, all these phrases, thrice he has addressed Portia like this. But yes, audience, they, yes, audience and the readers, they have hint that we know that, see the relationship between, we have hint about that Bassanio, and the relationship between the two, heroine and hero, Bassanio. So, this kind of, say, intensity of emotion he has. So, verbal irony from that point of view, that he would have to face failure in that. He would not get success in making right choice. So, from that point of, and then we have, yes, irony of situation also. Irony of situation, very humorous. When we talk about romantic comedy, we have comical impact, comical fervor throughout the play. And here also, in Act second only, scene 1, conversation between these two characters. We have, some humorous fervor impact in that old Gobbo. I mean, Lancelot Gobbo's father, the conversation between the two. And irony, and when, I talk about irony of situation. Now, why it is irony of situation? Because, his old father who was blind, and he does not recognize his son. And therefore, here lies the irony of situation. And, if the conversation in which these two, the father and the son, and he is keen to meet his son, Lancelot Gobbo, and then we have some kind of, humorous impact. And we come to know about Shakespeare's, remarkable dramatic skills in creating such scenes. And we have, irony of fate also. Later on, we come to know in the Bond story when Shylock also, was so confident that whatever bond he has signed, and Antonio, he would not be able to repay the money. So we would discuss in much detail. So this, it's really tremendous literary device, dramatic skill, and theatrical skill that Shakespeare has used. So it must be clear to you. And say another point that I would like to here mention that, see, it's very strict when we talk about casket story, very strict condition laid by Portia's father. And see these suitors who arrive from different corners, different places. We have, Prince Morocco in the first scene, and later on we have Prince of Aragon, and all these. See the condition, strict condition. What was that? That they cannot get married throughout the life if they face failure, if they don't get success in making right choice. So heights of intensity in these suitors, though they are minor characters, but we must also ponder over, we must also have idea, students, about what? About the heights of intensity of emotion, that this kind of promise, it's not that much easy to make this promise. Now when we discuss act second, important development. So I think it is for your better understanding that act romantic setting all the time, constantly you must have this important point in your mind. And now how many scenes are there in this act? 9 scenes are there. Okay, and we will discuss from the point of view of important development of plot. And yes, we will also discuss plot construction. All the plots, they are beautifully interwoven as a whole. Now, who are these new characters that we are going to meet? And see, new characters, for instance, in the first scene, Prince of Morocco, and then we have Lancelot Gobbo, new characters, and Jessica, and Prince of Aragon. Now another point is that the characters here are characters who were already introduced in this act, and their important roles in act second also. So in act 1 we were introduced to these characters. Who are these characters? Yes, Portia, in order, I mean in the way they are going to meet, and they are going to play their different roles, important roles, in that order. First we were introduced in act 1, Portia, then we have Bassanio, Gratiano, Lorenzo, Shylock, Celenio, and Antonio in act 1. So new new characters and all the characters that we have already met earlier. So I mean, students, you can study in this way. So this is another very nice way of having better comprehension regarding this. Now, how many scenes? Now, in the first scene wise, first you have, synopsis of the scene, and rather, in very organized manner. Then in examination your performance will be better, rather excellent. So in first scene, now the character that we meet, I just discussed, yes, Prince Morocco. And see, it begins with casket story. And the casket story, again the setting in which, say, as I have already mentioned, romantic setting we have. And see, this prince, he has come far away just to make the choice. And see, the Portia's statement is also very important. When Portia, she points out that the lottery of my destiny. And we have, theme of faith also, theme of love, and theme of bondings and friendship. These theme of making choice and decision making, yes, this is also one of the important themes. And he is going to make choice. And Portia, she, in a way, she tells him about the condition and all that. I mean, this is about casket story. And in the second scene, we meet new character, as I have mentioned. Who is this new character? Lancelot Gobbo. And we discussed about the soliloquy. When this scene, it begins with his soliloquy. And yeah, Shakespeare, even in minor characters, they are full of wisdom. When he talks about conscience in our soul, and there is conflict between good and bad, good and evil, and always good always becomes victorious. So good winning goodwill over bad and evil. So this is what here he wants to highlight through this character Lancelot Gobbo. As a clown, he serves very important role, and very humorous fervor throughout in these scenes sometimes we have. And actually what happened, he wants to leave his job in scene second is very important. And constantly you must have in your mind that we have merging these various plots into one. Obviously in act 1, and even in the beginning of act 2 also, we always mention, we discuss like that, this is casket story, this one. But now what is more important, that combining and blending of various plots as a whole. And here when we talk about second scene now, Lancelot Gobbo, he is also very important connecting link, because at present he is at the service of Shylock. Remember, who is he? Lancelot Gobbo, he is servant to Shylock. And his conscience, when he talks about, the idea underlying is that he wants to leave the job of Shylock, because now see the character portrayal of Shylock, that he is very inhumane, cruel, and is because of ill treatment given by Shylock, and he was not given proper food and salary, whatever. I mean, all these aspects, they are covered in this scene. And his conversation with the Jessica in scene 3. Jessica, very important character. And again, she is also a connecting link. When Lancelot Gobbo, a clown, he is connecting link between these two plots, Bond story and casket story. And even, yes, when we talk about say main and subplots, Lorenzo, because he is servant to Shylock, And again, but Jessica, she has developed a sort of affinity with the servant as brotherly love, and this is and she is very very generous, very noble hearted, and she is very kind even to her behavior, attitude, even towards servants. So very nice behavior. So this kind of character is also highlighted, Jessica. And in scene 3 we have this very important character, and she hands over the key and the planning. Yes, she's planning about what? Jessica Lorenzo episode, when we talk about that, she even takes money when she's planning for what? Elopement with Lorenzo. So here, love story between Lorenzo and Jessica. This is in scene 3 4, these in particular planning of all that, and she even takes money of her father. So cruelty of say Shylock, that even daughter Jessica, she does not like her father's behavior and attitude, because he was very unkind and very inhumane, and all the time his mind is occupied with money, how to gain money. He's very miser also, and at the same time very strict and very rude, and that's why she wants to run away from the house. So this is elopement story in that way. So interconnected with each other. Now we cannot say any kind of demarcation that this is only Cascade story and this is Bond story. So I mean, merging, blending word is very important, merging and blending of all that. Then so this is planning. Jessica's planning in which scene? Scene 4. So here we have all these scenes together, and one by one also, I mean, important points, so that you would have idea as a whole. When we talk about consistency, one point is connected to other, and we have relativity among all these points. And so this is we have even all these. Lorenzo is very good friend to Bassanio, and Jessica, she's daughter to Shylock. So all these, I mean, interconnected with each other. This is the point here I would like to point out. That's why, Now, then we have scene 5. Now, what is there in scene 5? Very important scene, because Bassanio, he has arranged a dinner party. Now, in this, say, dinner party, he has, invited very, strategically Shylock. Now, we know about the enmity between Shylock and Antonio, and he is jealous of Antonio because Antonio is very noble and kind-hearted, and he is a famous, reputed merchant of Venice. So, I mean, besides professional jealousy, there are other reasons also. And in this, dinner part, but Shylock, he has given his consent. So this is important development of plot in which? Fifth scene, act 1, second. So act second and fifth scene. Then we come to sixth scene. In this sixth scene, and see the theme simultaneously, you must have in your mind about the theme and characters. And when we talk about fifth scene, dinner arranged at Bassanio's residence, and see what is the significance. Now the significance, symbolical significance and dramatic significance of this scene, because Bassanio, he is planning to go to Belmont, and Shylock, when he was invited to this dinner, so we come to know about the theme of enmity. It is intensified in this particular scene, and between Jews and Christians, and even we have irony of situation also. Irony of situation, because when they were having conversation about the bond and about all this, at the time, he gives his opinion and views about, say, Antonio and especially Christians, how, he has hatred for them. So his, character, it is also highlighted in this scene. And he, yeah, in this, say, scene fifth, when he gives instruction when he was leaving for Bassanio's house. At that time, he gives instruction to his daughter, and the daughter, and he's very rude and strict at the time, and you should not move outside. And because, yes, another important development, that there is, masquerade, mask procession. And in this, Christians, all these friends together, and Lorenzo, he has organized this. He's the designer of this, say, mask procession, a ritual, and they enjoy it. This kind of, get together, and this is some religious fervor is also there in this mask procession. All of them, they enjoy, and for merrymaking, and not only merrymaking, but some kind of affinity, that which is also developed among these characters, these friends, all these friends. And what are names, you must remember? Yes, we have Celerino, Serenio, Bassanio, Antonio, Lorenzo, Gratiano. Yes, very important character. He's very good friend of Bassanio and Antonio. So all these important characters we have, and so this is scene 5 is also very important, and reflection of the theme about character portrait of Shylock. So this mask is also very important development. And see, in scene 6th, now we'll come to scene 6th. So it is actual elopement of Jessica with Lorenzo. Now, what is the purpose? What is the purpose of this mask procession? See the significance of this. Yes, just to plan. Now, this designing this plan of procession, so that Jessica, she would join this group, and she would appear in a boy's dress. She appears in disguise. So disguise is another important theme in Shakespearean comedy. Okay, we will continue. Thank you.